Hello, Wine Foundry. I'm Stuart Ake. I'm on the west side of Napa Valley in the Oak Knoll district at Moulds Family Vineyard. It's October, it's harvest. That means Cabernet Sauvignon. We're at the vineyard right now, about to pick our fruit. In front of me, behind the camera, we have a full moon, obscured right now, but not for long. The sun is rising on the east side of the valley, but we have the marine layer, which keeps it nice and cool. In this segment for the Cellar Dweller video, we've got really three important things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the pick with our director of winemaking, Patrick Saboe, and he's going to walk us through how the grapes are taken off vine, put into the bins, and transported back to the winery. Jenny Dowell will talk to us about a really cool label that she's designed recently. And then we're going to bring it back to the winery where Rob and Paco are going to talk about two crisp whites which have just completed fermentation, and you can really start to get the sense of the aromas, flavor, and structural elements of those. But right now, I'm turning it over to Patrick. Patrick, talk us through picking.
Thanks, Stu. What an exciting day we have. Harvest Day 2025. It's October. The morning is gorgeous. We have a full moon over here to the side. We have sunrise coming behind us, and we have incredible quality. I've kind of been to the vineyard probably 10 times and waited for this perfect moment to harvest this fruit. The workers have already prepared the vineyard a little bit in preparation for the fruit to be picked. You see the shade cloth, which normally covers the fruit, has been removed up. The leaf zone has been cleared with all the leaves around the clusters in preparation. They'll come through with their hook knives and funny yellow boxes which hold about 40 pounds of grapes, and they'll quickly remove all the clusters from the stem, from the vines, and they'll be dumped them into bigger boxes that we'll be carrying them to the winery. So this is an incredible day. The anticipation is very high, so we can't wait to share this wine with you at the winery. So cheers.
Hello. Hello, Jenny Dowell here. I would like to spotlight the labels of Andy Nguyen and take you through the process of how they ended up getting printed and put on the bottle. But first, let me read to you what Andy wrote to me when we were starting the design process. This is his story. He wrote, "In April 1975, my grandparents fled Vietnam with their 9 children and 1 granddaughter. With very few belongings, and despite being strangers to the language and culture, the Nguyen family rebuilt their lives in the United States. Through hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance, my family became a living testament to the American dream. The Nguyen family cellars is a tribute to their enduring legacy and to lifelong friendships that I am honored to share with you." Andy had already decided to work with an illustrator, Farley Bookout. I put her URL down in the corner. She's amazing to work with. Farley started with sending me some black and white sketches that I could use to start to put together the design for the label. She also created hand-drawn lettering for the brand name. Once the art was finished, I dropped it in. We tightened up the copy in the back. We submitted them both to the TTB, went to press. The label was put on the bottle, and they're gorgeous. And that's it. Now, on to Rob and Paco.
Thanks, Jenny. All right, we got Rob and Paco over here. We're going to talk about a couple of crisp whites that we're going to be bottling coming in the spring, or early spring. So what we have in our glass right now is some Sauvignon Blanc from High Fidelity. High Fidelity is a new vineyard we're working with this year. It's in the Carneros area of Napa. Carneros AV is kind of cool because it's split into 2 counties. It's in Sonoma County and Napa County. This is in the Napa County. And Paco, what do you think?
I'm pretty excited about this one of the 2 Sauvignon Blancs that we have available this year. Kind of nice and modern take on it.
It's pretty tropical. I mean, especially for Carneros, which is pretty cool. This is a pretty kind of full, kind of tropical Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, it's got a nice mid-palate, nice little texture on it. Definitely not something that just goes through, even though it's light and fresh. It has some pretty interesting to be said about the texture and the mid-palate with. And yeah, pretty tropical without being overly tropical or boring. Like you might think some New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs, you only get passion fruit. There's some passion fruit in this. There's also some citrus, a little bit of stone fruit.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
A little guava, kind of like a guava to it. Yeah, it's really like a complex, like tropical fruit note.
Yeah. It's been an interesting year in Napa and Sonoma in 2025, where we've had to wait for the acids to tame down a little bit, which normally we're fighting the opposite fight. So it was cool to see it develop, see it get flavor, and see those pHs go up a little bit to where Patrick and I were a little more comfortable. And yeah, that's allowed us to keep very nice acidity that's not, teeth melting, but also gain that complexity, palate weight in the middle, and those more tropical flavors that, I think
cool
go
wine.
very well with this.
Yeah, really, really cool. Awesome. All right. So we're gonna take these. We're gonna put these over.
One second.
And then, so we're gonna move on to Albariño. So Albariño, it debuted last year. We got a little bit of Albariño. It's back this year. So this is from Lodi. It's from Clements Hill. So it's kind of an interesting little story behind this. I'm gonna send it over to Paco. So it's the Terra Alta Vineyard from the Bocage family. So Paco's got a story about that.
Yeah. So these happened last year. Patrick and I were visiting Lodi to check on our rosé fruit. You guys know we get Tempranillo, Mourvedre, Grenache, some things from over there. And I mentioned to Patrick, hey, some friends of mine buy fruit from this Spanish guy, Marcus Bocage, that might have Albariño. Why don't we go and check it out? So we stopped by. This guy was so friendly, so sweet. He was happy to have us visit the winery. We tasted a bunch of things with him. And then we tasted his Albariño from the year before, and we were enamored right away. Like, oh, this is great. And we really connected with him. He told us, I'm picking my Albariño tomorrow. Do you guys want to jump in on this? And we decided right there and then, made a quick call. Hey guys, can we get this Albariño? Boom, that was it. So this year, knowing what we wanted to do and how good it was last year, we went for a little bit more fruit, and we watched the growing season a little more closely. If it's been cool in Napa and that's made the fruit really good, in Lodi, this is the year of the century for whites, because they haven't had a very warm nights over there, so the acids have really maintained. We just kind of unheard over there. And I went visit Marcus a few times. We picked at around 21 bricks. The acid was spot on. We didn't have to do any adjustments on this wine, and very, very happy with this. And I want to extend a thank you to Marcus for hooking us up with this beautiful fruit. What do you think of the wine? This is my favorite wine.
Yeah, I remember last year when we were doing Bricks and Temp tasting this in tank, and it was just stunning. And this year it's different, but just as good. The acids are really in balance. I figured last year the acids were very high, I thought. This way it feels really in balance. There's a bigger kind of mid-palate, bigger base to the wine, and that big kind of peachy, kind of fuzzy peach taste to it. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, I like some of the kind of limey, citrusy drive that it has at the beginning. And it's definitely a New World wine, but it does remind me of the wines from my homeland in northwestern Spain, where Albariño is from. So super happy with this.
Yeah.
And we have them in a combination of mostly stainless steel, but also through a neutral barrel in there to, when we blend everything, get a little bit more mid-palate, or maybe if somebody's looking for a different Albariño that's only barrel fermented, barrel aged, that could be it. But both versions are delicious, and super happy with this.
I agree.
So,
cheers.
Cheers.
Well, thanks, Paco. And so these whites are available, so get on it, buy those barrels, and thanks for going to our video, and we'll see you next month. Thanks for coming to Cellar Dweller.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Paco, talking about crisp whites. From crisp whites, we briefly go to big reds. Here it is, end of October. We're going to be doing 1/3 of the entire harvest this week. And it's all about Cabernet Sauvignon. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tons of Cab, which we're going to process in a few minutes. I think today, 35 tons of grapes. That's a lot of grapes. You have questions, not just about the Wine Foundry. You have questions about wine drinking. You have questions about grape growing. You have questions about wine chemistry, wine thinking. We want to know what they are. we're going to answer your questions on next month's Cellar Dweller video. So please send it my way, Stuart at the Wine Foundry, and some amazing scholars in the wine realm are going to answer your question down to subatomic particles. It'll bring great spiritual fulfillment. Until then, enjoy. See you in November.